pictured Berkeley, California in the 50s and 60s. There go the beatniks, here come the hippies, the counterculture. In catty corner to it sits Eugene Rose and Gleb Polmashinsky. The revolution, and you would be well advised to pick up an application and sign on the dotted line. Come on inside. I want to make you acquainted, for one of these fellows will one day be sainted.
Okay. Hello. Today, welcome to my live stream. Welcome to my Icon Corner. And today I have some friends with me. We're going to be talking about the Salish Brotherhood of St. John the Wonderworker. And I'm going to bring on my friends one by one. First is Subdeacon Jacob.
Hello everybody. Hey. Glad to be here.
Subdeacon Jacob is the most senior member of the Brotherhood, and he is often the organizer of the retreats that we're going to be talking about today on today's stream. Do you want to give us an introduction about yourself?
Hi, I'm Subdeacon Jacob. I go to St. Anthony's in San Diego, Antiochian Church. That's where I serve. I moved down to San Diego from Northern California.
Oh, he's freezing up. Okay. While he's reconnecting, I'll add on Edward. Sorry, he's frozen.
No, that's all good.
Oh, you froze up. You froze up.
He's good to go again. He's back.
Yeah. Where did I leave off?
You
talking about basically just out of San Diego. You just left off there.
Yeah, so I'm based in San Diego, and ever since 2016, I've been going up to Vashon, where the Brotherhood has been hosted. Yeah.
Okay, based in San Diego. Edward, you from Rogue Splice? Give us your introduction.
Yeah, so I do have a little channel on Rogue Splice, but I go to church with Daniel. We go to St. Martin's Orthodox Church over in Corvallis, Oregon. And we went up to the monastery on Vashon Island just recently, and that's what we're going to be covering. So, yes, and I did an interview with one of the monks up there, Father Nicodemus. I titled it "The Adverse Conditions of a Darkened Soul." We kind of went over a topic on just what the soul is, and he did a really good talk on that. That's on my channel on Rockfin, but we're going to be going over just kind of like what the site is and just everybody's story on what the monastery was like. So, yeah, I'll leave it at that for right now.
Oh, I should add the names just so while we're here. Let's see. I can add folks' names if I just click the right button. And we have one more person here, Maximus, but he's kind of coming in and out. I don't know where is Max? Can you hear us, Maximus? Can you hear us? Hello.
Says he's going to try restarting his phone.
Okay. Oh, it's in this chat, private chat. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. Got the names.
Slick. Good grief. StreamYard's just so accommodating on everything. It's just like, boom, you get a portrait, everything.
Okay. So I think to start, so we're talking about the Salish Brotherhood. What is the Salish Brotherhood? Why don't you, Subdeacon, give us the rundown, give us the background, the history of that?
All right. So just to say what the Brotherhood is, it is basically a retreat that happens bi-yearly for young men, Orthodox men, to just bond, And so this was created after two retreats over in Dunlap at I believe Life-Giving Springs Monastery in Dunlap, the women's monastery there. So there was a college conference that was going there for OCF that was happening every December, and Abbot Tryphon was the OCF.
Yeah,
Orthodox Christian Orthodox College Fellowship, I believe.
I think it's Orthodox Christian Fellowship.
Yeah, college or Christian, yeah. And he was the key speaker twice, and basically this event was started because we had an hour to talk with him, and we just didn't feel like we had enough time. And so my friends had been going up to the monastery already, and they decided, like, hey, let's just get a big van together. We'll all drive up from San Diego, and we'll start a retreat, you know? And so while we were going up, we came up with the name to be the Knights of the Salish Sea, because Abbot Tryphon has been titled the Lord Abbot of the Salish Sea and all the Isles. And so we came up with the name playing off of that. And ever since then, that happened around 2016. Ever since then, it's been going on. It's been fun. I was just voted this year the official coordinator, and it's been fun kind of figuring it out, because in previous years there weren't a lot of attendance because I didn't get the word out properly. And so I thankfully have figured out our Telegram group, and I've started with announcements and everything that have gotten people more on board, which has been really good. So we've been seeing, I've seen a lot of ebb and flow with it, and now it's actually taking on a new life of its own. It's really wonderful. But on the point of, you know, it's a fellowship for Orthodox men to bond with each other. Like, that was actually very formative for me personally, because the town that I'm from in Northern California, I was the only Orthodox my age in the entire county. And so I was pretty lonely, and I didn't have anybody to bounce off like my faith with. And so going to the college conference was one thing that was very helpful. Going to a monastery where I had never been to a monastery before was very formative for me. And I just really highly recommend that if there is a monastery near you, or you want to just travel to, like, just do it. It's a very big part of our faith, and I think it's a very important thing to take advantage of. Like, you know, when I was growing up in the faith, I thought monks were, you know, basically like very super holy people that you just can't talk to. They're like the elite of the elite or something. And especially the monks at Vashon, they're very down to earth, normal men, and it's very good to be able to talk with them, especially with edifying things about Orthodoxy and everything.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there are monasteries where you're discouraged from talking to the monks unless you have a reason. But if you go to Vashon Island, you can have a conversation with the monks, and you know, you can actually learn a lot talking to a monk, you know, believe it or not. That surprises me that you were the only Orthodox Christian your age group in your entire county, and that's San Diego?
No. That was Northern California. So I'm originally from San Jose, where I had a good friend group there at church, and then we moved to Angels Camp, where I just didn't have anybody.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Can you hear us, Maximus?
We're all good. Can you hear me?
We can hear you now. We fixed our problems. So Maximus he is on the road, and he is making an effort. He's pulled off the side of the road off of his motorcycle to join the stream. We appreciate you. Do you want to give us an introduction?
Yeah, Maximus, live out here in the Pacific Northwest. As far as illumination, it's my first week. Pretty funny. First week is baptism. Next week's name day. We're on the new calendar, newfangled, old-fashioned. That's what I was taught by a monk. Just to upset everyone.
Oh, no problem. Yeah.
All right, that's.
Yeah, no problems here. Yeah. So Maximus he's saying he's newly illumined. He was baptized a week or two ago, I think. So welcome to the faith. So we're making this video this is going to be something we can point to if we want to recruit new members into the Brotherhood, because we have these retreats biannually, like Jacob was saying. And so, you know, if people can, you know, if you're a young man, you know, you want to try to join up you can contact us. You can contact me. We can get you in touch with the monastery, and we're already planning another retreat coming up in the winter. Usually they're just done one in the summer and one in the winter. We just had one, and we're planning one maybe March, you said, is that right?
Potentially February, if not the last week before Lent. So it'll probably be Meat Fair Sunday or something like that.
All right. So we're going to have another one of these gatherings, and we have some, so you guys, this is YouTube, a visually oriented platform. So we have some little visual, right? Edward has pulled up some video for us that I can actually add to the stream now. And this is going to show you a little bit of some film that he took while we were on the last retreat. So here's some video from the monastery that he just, took his camera and he just started walking around a little bit.
Yeah, you got like a little bit of trail footage just kind of showing that they had their own chickens. They have a pretty nice garden there. This is kind of the campsite where the Brotherhood was sleeping, because they have one guest house there, but there's plenty of room there to set up tents. Like we brought an RV and we're able to set up one RV on site. But there's tons of trailheads with all sorts of icons along the trail. And as well,
this is called a kiosk that it's in.
Kiosk. Yeah, very, very beautiful stuff as far as what you get to see on this type of trip. And yeah, we met. That's the other thing. We met tons of people. There were people from all over with this Brotherhood. You got people from Canada, people from out of state. It's definitely. I was surprised. I didn't know what to expect. I thought it was going to be like ROCOR primarily, but no. You had Antiochian, you had OCA, you had Greek, you had everything under the sun coming to this. So it was really interesting to kind of. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Serbian. Yeah.
Serbian, yeah. It was just interesting to see like all the different parishes as far as what people are experiencing in their church versus kind of like your own. So you see, similarities and differences, but as well, everybody's, under the same faith. But it was really cool. And this picture right here is this is like the high point. I zoom in a second, but you can see Seattle all the way from this little hillside. And how far out do you think that is about? Like, because it's about like if you were going to drive off the island and catch the ferry, how long is it to Seattle from the island?
Well, one side I think you can go directly into Seattle. I'm not sure exactly about distance. I know that the island itself is 7 miles wide and 14 miles tall.
Oh.
Yeah. Apparently it's the size of Rhode Island, but it's 80% undeveloped forest, and so it's a really beautiful, really beautiful place.
Yeah, it's a nice location. You saw we had the tents out there, so people bring tents and we're camping out. Pan-Orthodox, like he said, so you don't have to be ROCOR to come to this. We encourage everybody. This is kind of.
I'd encourage everybody, and especially people who just don't necessarily have a good community around themselves, to come and join other young Orthodox guys and share the faith with us. Their morning services are at 6 a.m. and they have Vespers at 5:30 every night as well.
Yep. So we're going.
I don't know.
Go ahead. Yeah.
One of the things I wanted to add is that my first Orthodox service was actually at the monastery. And what I felt was one of the biggest barriers for me was perhaps a language barrier. I mean, you hear it's a Russian Orthodox, we expect Russians. Nope, service is in English. So, hey, if you know English, you're not going to miss out on anything.
And you'll notice Maximus is wearing his black and red sunglasses. Every member of the knighthood is presented with their own St. Catherine sunglasses, which he's wearing and modeling for us. And that's part of the knighting process, which we're going to show you that a little later on. I have that a video of the knighting process pulled up. So let's see what else we have. Yeah.
There's a funny tidbit about the sunglasses. They actually have the old name of St. Catherine's on them. They still have St. Catherine College on them. And so these things aren't even being made anymore, you know, so they're kind of like a frozen in time capsule of, but we've got a whole box.
So for people who don't know, St. Catherine's College is an Orthodox university down in San Diego, right?
Yeah, down in San Diego, San Marcos specifically, northern San Diego County.
And what is it called now?
It's called the University of St. Catherine. They're fully accredited.
Okay. And so here you can see in the video in the background, those are some of the buildings from downtown Seattle. You can see on the close-up. So thanks for putting this together, Edward.
Oh, yeah. This is just a little bit of B-roll footage that, you know, I just pulled out the camera and just started shooting and spliced stuff together. But yeah, Abbot Tryphon, that's him right there. He was very outgoing as far as, you know, making sure he was there to talk with everybody. I didn't know what to expect because, like Jacob was saying before, you think monks are like these people that don't go out and talk to anybody or anything, and like they're the elite of the elite. And we were able to talk with these monks. They're very personable as far as, you know, doing one-on-one with you or talking as Abbot Tryphon's doing there as a group. There's a lot of knowledge to be shared there. I mean, there's a lot of wisdom that these monks have, and the benefits are huge as far as, you know, making a trip out to one of these type of monasteries. And this is us in the Trapeza, just, you know, just kind of on our off time, sitting, chatting with the Brotherhood, but interesting topics. I mean, these are topics you don't normally get kind of thrown around in your daily, just general public atmosphere. These are people that are going to be kind of in a different mindset as far as discussion goes. You're going to have people that are able to, you know, connect with a little differently than, say, people you go to work with or people you're going to school with. You know, it's just totally different. And it was an awesome 4-day visit. The Salish Brotherhood is definitely a fantastic get together that I recommend Orthodox Christians to check out as far as getting involved with. So yeah, Subdeacon Jacob, you've done a good thing getting this put together.
It's all God, because I'm actually very bad at promoting this, because it started off as, you know, basically a thing for like guys who just didn't have anybody to hang out with who were Orthodox. But it's the culture has definitely changed, because a lot more local people have been coming, and so it's like their friend group from their church basically gets an extended stay and everything. But it's also very just good to be around guys. And I'd also encourage, like, if it's too far to travel to go see Abbot Tryphon, you know, if there's any other monastery that could host you, because I've known of other monasteries that like want things like this to happen, like retreats to happen. I'd say just set it up, like, if you can, like if there's an East Coast thing. I think there are some island monasteries over there. I think it would be a great idea to somebody to get up and start a retreat for young men to go out.
I like that idea. Good.
Yeah, it is a good idea.
Oh, and I wanted to mention, we were showing Abbot Tryphon on the porch, talking to the brothers, and, you know, this is uncensored Abbot Tryphon. So if you've been following Abbot Tryphon on YouTube, you know, he can be pretty edgy for YouTube, but he's telling you the straight truth here sitting on the porch, you know. So you want to take advantage of this when you have the opportunity to go. Everybody should try and meet Abbot Tryphon, is what I say.
Yeah, and the other thing is, like, it's also very much Abbot Tryphon's ministry. You know, he really has a big heart for us young guys and young people in general, and he is just extremely encouraging every time we're there. He just wants everybody to know that he basically wants to be your adopted grandpa, you know, especially if you don't have a good support or anything in Orthodoxy.
Adopted grandpa is right. It cracked me up when we had that. He was shooting a video with us all sitting there, and after the camera was off, he was like, "Why don't you guys all stay there?" And Brother Basil took the camera out, you know, and put it away, and then he just was like, "I just want you boys to know that Grandpa loves you." And it was like,
Yep. Exactly.
And I have just posted the invitation link. If you want to join the chat, if you want to join us here, come on the stream and talk, you are welcome to click the link in the chat, which I just posted. And if you have questions, maybe you're thinking about joining the monastery or something like that, you're welcome to join us on the stream. It's right there in the chat. It's not going anywhere.
Perfect.
Maximus, you have anything else to say?
Well, one of the things the abbot loves most is watching Orthodoxy just continue. I know for maybe some monasteries, a lot of them are getting older in age, I mean. So when they see a bunch of young guys excited, ready to learn, it pretty much just blows his mind. I mean, not like we wanted to get rid of him, but even then he wouldn't want to stay away from us. He just wanted to be with us as long as his age would allow him.
Maybe I think now might be a good time to show the knighting. What do you guys think? Should I show that? Okay.
Yeah.
The last little bit of storage on the SSD drive before it capped out, so there's a little bit of footage there.
Right. Yeah. So Edward took this, and let me share my screen here. I've got it pulled up. So when you become a knight of the Salish See, you are knighted, and you have a sponsor similar to like when you're being baptized. Originally, the knighting process was being anointed with myrrh from the myrrh streaming icon of Hawaii. But at some point, somewhere along the line, somebody bought Abbot Tryphon a sword. And so we actually have a real knighting. So I'm going to play this. I don't know if I'm going to play the whole thing. And I'm going to let the volume go for a little bit here. So you can hear it at first, and then we'll.
Most Venerable Tryphon, Lord Abbot of the Salish See, I present potential knighthood, Nicholas and Tobias of Holy Apostles in Vancouver. Step forward. Bend the knee, Tobias.
Tobias, I knight you as a knight of the Salish Sea. Arise, Sir Knight.
Hip hip.
Hooray!
So we had quite a crop of all these guys on the right were knighted at this one.
I think there were about 7 maybe.
Yeah. And the Brotherhood has probably grown up by now to somewhere around probably around 100 members, more or less, something like that, from all the years I've been doing this. Yeah, there are I think about 60 that are in the chat on our Telegram, but I want to say the active portion is maybe 20%. Okay. And what happens is usually if there's not an announcement for another retreat, then the chat is kind of in a lull. But what's really great is we ask for each other's prayers. It's like one of the most common things. I'm just like, hey guys, I'm suffering, or someone else I love is suffering, and so please pray for them and all that. So it's a really good support group for that. And it's kind of it's not too serious, like, Abbot Tryphon is just being whimsical, I think, here with the sword. Yeah. The sword is actually the Gandalf sword. So he got it from a costume because, Abbot Tryphon is basically known as Gandalf. Right. The Lord Abbot Tryphon of Vashon Island and all of the Salish Sea. Mm-hmm. So, and yes, he does have a gray cassock, which he'll wear his Gandalf hat with. Yep. So.
Should we even talk about that? I mean, someone might get scandalized.
Yeah, probably. I'm sure. Well, like when I had there are already memes about that. I think it's okay. Yeah. So there's that. We didn't quite catch Edward's knighting, but Edward is a knight. So
Oh, that was the very end. There you go.
Let me remove that.
That was 1 terabyte worth of footage at its very end.
Hey, well, there you go.
Yeah,
That's good. You got a whole terabyte. That's pretty great.
yeah. That SSD drive did its work that weekend.
Yeah. And if you guys are wondering, there's no like real membership fee or anything like that. We're not really a super organized kind of thing. It is mostly like a kind of whimsical thing. It's a brotherhood, you know. So the knighting is more of like, you know, you want to be in support of the monastery and of each other. You know, so when we go there, we sometimes try to do a work project to help out the monastery and everything.
Right.
Yeah, because there are chores there. I mean, if you're there, it's really nice to give a hand. Like there was a lot of yard work to do. It was pulling weeds. There was stuff on the edge of the perimeter that needed pulling. Garden work. It's a place also to get your hands dirty if you're willing. It's definitely it's just a great place. I recommend every person, even if you're considering Orthodox and, like I said, not even Orthodox yet, monasteries are a great place to go visit. At least this one is. This is a fantastic one to go visit.
So I don't see any takers. Anybody watching live right now? Does anybody want to join the stream? Do you have some questions for us? Do you want to just show your face? This is your chance.
Yeah, you can ask questions right now. You got a subdeacon in the chat. He's ready to answer. He's ready to.
If you guys have ever wondered who are these strange faces that are there in the blog sometimes.
Right.
So here's a question. How about this? What is the difference between a subdeacon, a deacon, and an archdeacon?
Well, so the subdeacons are basically dirt. If you're in that scheme of things, the deacons can actually serve pre-sanctified liturgies by themselves if they have to. They can serve communion. They go up and they actually partake at the altar. The other thing is if you're going to be married, you have to be married before you become a deacon if you want to do anything like that. And often they're educated. They're usually either seminarian or some form of online theological school. And then archdeacon just means that you've been a deacon for a very long time, basically, and that means you're like the highest rank of deacon. So you'd take communion before any of the other deacons, or you'd be one serving with the bishop the most if they come to visit. And subdeacons are basically coat hangers when it comes to like when the bishop's there. So like if the bishop was there, I'd basically be standing at his side the whole time, making sure he has his pamphlets and holding his staff for him and everything. Otherwise, with the interesting thing is in the Antiochian church, I am married, and I was made a subdeacon before I got married, and we also say the little litanies sometimes during liturgy. So it's a great opportunity if you're Antiochian to become a subdeacon, because you can kind of test the waters if you want to go further, but you can also stay if you want. So.
And subdeacon Jacob is actually is on track. His track is to hopefully someday become a priest,
Lord willing.
So he's planning on going to seminary at some point in the future here. Yeah,
the earliest would be next fall, and we'll see. It'll be a 3-year commitment, so we'll see how well I'm good at attending and coordinating the events. I think I can at least coordinate, but there might be hard for me to get away.
I don't know what happened to Edward. Somehow he got removed. I didn't remove him, but maybe he removed himself.
He looked like he froze too.
Question from the audience. Do you have any members in the Portland, Oregon area?
Oh, absolutely. Like tons. That's where a big majority of us are. For me, as the organizer, I'm down in San Diego, and sometimes I bring up a little bit of an enclave. So I'll have like five 5 guys sometimes, but it's usually not too many. There have been times where I've like had a 12 crew group go up, so it's pretty funny where it's like the monastery is up in Washington, but some of the most consistent people are from San Diego.
And we've had people come from East Coast and all over, really. Yeah,
we had a member come from Toronto, and it was very impactful for him because he actually doesn't have any young adults at his parish. So it's our organization is fulfilling its use of just like showing not only monasticism to young men, but also other like what it's like to be Orthodox, around other guys.
Yeah, I think we also had some members who would just ask around the parish if any of the other young men were interested. And some of the people that got knighted and were originally tag-alongs. Yeah, here they are. It was a great time. We had some really young guys, I think still in their teens. Well,
yeah, we've had younger guys too. Yeah. I think the youngest we've had was like a 16-year-old. And it's funny because now, like, since it's been going on, I think I was 22 when I first started, and the age of the people who have been coming has been getting older too. Daniel was commenting on that when we were there.
Right. Yeah, I have a video I'm going to show at the end as the outro, and it kind of shows the group that was there back like 6, 7 years ago. And they were mostly college age. And now I think the members are a little bit older, like mid-20s to late 20s.
Yeah, mid-20s, late 20s. I'm in my 30s now.
30s, yeah. Yeah, actually there was a number of people in their 30s too. So I guess it's kind of expanded the age over time, which is fine.
Yeah, I'll save my age for my confessor.
Okay. Well, I don't know what happened to Edward. I did invite Abbot Tryphon, but he to join us if he wanted, but he's traveling right now, so I don't think he's going to make it. I don't really have any much else more prepared for this stream. I mean, do you have any more do you have another message you want put out there before we go with this?
Well, what I would say is if there's anybody interested in attending or just visiting the monastery, is try to reach out. I'm pretty sure their emails are on their website. I think it's vashonmonks.com where they sell all their things. So especially if you're local and you want to come to an event like this, just contact them. Abbot Tryphon basically is telling people about this event, whoever just comes to visit, and so if you want, don't be afraid to reach out.
Yeah, I mean, the first time I showed up, I called ahead because I looked on their website. It's like, hey, that's what you should do. So I called ahead, showed up. I think they say they have their hours, of course, for general visitors. But when I talked to the abbot for a little bit, he invited me to Vespers. Then he just wouldn't let me go. So I ended up staying for the liturgy as well the next day. And, from there, I just he ended up recommending a parish in my area. And so that's how it was the beginning of my Orthodox journey.
Wow.
That's wonderful.
What happened to you, Edward?
Oh, one of the breakers blew in the house, and we played which breaker is it, and we chose the breaker that my computer was on. So that's where I went.
Oh, so you got shut down and had to boot right back up?
Yeah. So I'll be rewatching that answer to the deacon question, but I got to hear a little bit of it.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
I wonder if that has to do with you had the AC maybe blasting, right?
Yeah, there's AC blasting on the other side of the house. That's where and then my stepdad walked in and he's just like, I'm like, oh, he's tinkering, and sure enough, yeah, out went the monitor. It's like, I'm sorry. It's like, it's okay. Yeah.
We're having I'm in my Hawaiian silk shirt here today because it's like 100 degrees out here, which is not something we're used to in the Willamette Valley. We get that like once a year, but
yeah, it's hot week this week. It's gonna be nice.
So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what more. I mean, do you guys have much more to say? Do you have any more anything else to say, Edward or Maximus? Before we play it out.
Not
Well,
much.
I guess I can go. I mean, it's not like I'm gonna reveal personal details about anyone, but I was gonna mention more about, like, the conversations. There's Orthodoxy, but you end up talking to people from all walks of life. Some some of the stuff can get a little dark, but what I appreciate is that everyone was very genuine, and with everyone's there, it's pretty much you have the confidence that everyone has at least some interest or enthusiasm for Orthodoxy. So the Orthodox worldview is there. So for, say, someone like me who was new to Orthodoxy, uh, having like other young men around, who are also trying to figure out their journey, helps a ton. I mean, in my parish, we have quite a few young men, but a lot of them are already with their families, so they got their family life. Then we have the older men; they're already pretty well established in life. So a retreat like this helps show you that there are still people struggling out there. So I'm assuming part of the reason we're doing this is, hey, to encourage other young men that they're not alone, and they know where to find more of us. All right, that's it.
Thank you. That was probably the best testimony we could have hoped for.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah. It's one of the, to comment on sometimes the conversations can get dark. Like, one thing that I'm very happy about is that whenever we're all together, like in Vespers or Matins, we're all very serious, attentive Orthodox Christians, and I just think that's very encouraging.
Yeah, the services, especially at the monastery, are they're very real. It was a very different tone compared to like our local parish, as far as just how I would say, just like it's very slow, very methodical, very everything is just almost like very in line as far as being spoken perfectly. I was trying to avoid that word, but I mean, it was just like everything was like perfectly done, enunciated. They're doing it every single day, every morning. This is what discipline is. And this is good discipline. But yeah, definitely quite the service in the morning and in the evenings.
That's true. They like at a parish, they will, like, for example, at our parish, we do cut out quite a bit out of the services, and sometimes the readings are rushed. They're just trying to get through it. But here at the monastery, they do the whole thing. They're not cutting out 2/3 of a kathisma. They're slow. They're reading it slowly. They're not in any rush. They want to be paying attention and getting what they can out of the services. I sometimes, part of me, I feel like I'm missing. Actually, I am missing. You miss a lot when you don't go to all the services. You don't know all that's going on. There's a lot going on. You're kind of, I wanted to be a monk at one point, and it kind of makes it tugs at my soul to be missing, so much from the services.
Mm-hmm. And to further expand on the context of this, the service starts at 6 a.m. and sometimes we don't get out till about 8:40. So it's very long. They usually do a lot of psalms, but they also read from a lot of saints' canons, and so it's on and on and on, and it's just very good.
And at night, we gather around the fireplace, and usually we don't light a fire. Sometimes we do, but we'll just sing. We'll sing hymns, we'll sing shanty songs, we'll just hang out. That's the main bonding experience, time for us when we're just together.
Yeah,
and
it's not a very structured event. In the case of, like, there are a few times where Abbot Tryphon wants to do a video where we're the audience, and then he'll want to talk to us. But there's other cases where it's like you can just go off if you want to be alone and walk in the forest, and then there's bonding with each other around the fire. It's just really good. It's not like structure where you have to do this or you have to do that or anything like that.
I think one of my favorite parts was when we went to the chapel, and some of us retire earlier than the others, but we'll end up doing our evening prayers in groups. So some of us will have a slightly different prayer books, so you actually get to hear the different translations from the different jurisdictions.
Yeah, and that was actually one of the conversations we had the first night we were there. I was interested in what people thought about the idea of like a unified church in the United States. Some people, for example, we know that Father Josiah Trenum is a big proponent of the idea that we should all be under one jurisdiction. And, some people are against that idea. There are probably pluses and minuses of, if we were all, it would have been nice if we all knew, for example, how to sing the same hymn together. If we were all on the same page, that might have been, I hope, at some point when this channel grows a little bit, I hope to bring Father Josiah on. That's like one of my goals, is I want to bring him on to talk about that. That would be like my the topic I would pick if I could get him to come onto my channel as a guest. But I think this pan-Orthodox brotherhood is probably fostering unity. Somewhere down the road, hopefully we will have that jurisdictional unity in the States.
Yeah, I really like how he's a big proponent of, it's kind of something that we're putting aside, but it doesn't have to be. It's something that he thinks that everybody, at least in every jurisdiction, should have like a department that we can all actually, come together and try to hash this out.
Right. Hello to Orthodox Boomer. I got to say hello to Orthodox Boomer Grandma. Thank you for joining us.
Hello. Yeah. Thank you.
We're kind of winding down the stream today, but show us your motorcycle, Maximus. I made him get up. He was just.
Is that a 500? What? Where is he at, man? Good grief!
Did you just pull off to the side? Oh, crotch rocket.
He's out in gorgeous.
Having a nice Sunday ride.
Out on the lake.
I think you're still on mute.
Oh, yeah, it's a little 700cc Yamaha. Made a point to pull off at the waterfront because the sea breeze is nice when you're in full gear, and you're it's about 85 right now out here. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna sit back down now.
Sure, go ahead.
Very nice.
Orthodox Boomer Grandma, do you want to join the stream? We have the link up in the chat there. Do you think you might want to join us? We could bring you on.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I've been watching her little.
What do you think?
Her shorts. She's definitely expanding her channel.
Oh, yeah. More merrier.
She's getting her icon website. They have a website to sell icons that she's getting ready to launch, and we're gonna bring her on when the website launches and they're ready to. I can post it again. You just click this link. Just click that link, and it should shoot you right in. This should be fun.
Yeah, to add on to that pan-Orthodox conversation we had a little earlier, I mean, it's nice that the start that as much as we like to propose things, even if it's not officially on paper, this could be the start of it. And I think one of the good things we can have about this conversation is we can mention how we all have our differences, but we definitely talk about how we appreciate them. I mean, we were talking, I think one of our conversations during the retreat was about how some of the scandals in each jurisdiction, but what did we end up agreeing on? That as a lot of us as laity, we still like our own priests, even if way up high in the hierarchy there are still issues.
Yep, definitely. I've heard conversations go that way in the case of like, whatever the bishop's doing, it's not very cool a lot of the time, but as the laity is also a very big part of it.
Right. Yeah, there are some jurisdictions that people will, for example, online, they will criticize what the jurisdiction, bishops are doing. But when you, like Maximus said, there is, when you get down to like the boots on the ground aspect, the parish might be good, even if it's in a jurisdiction that's not so good. So, okay, OBG's here. I'm going to add her to the stream. This is exciting.
There she is.
She's frozen.
Hello, welcome.
Can you hear us? You're on the stream.
She might be on mute. She is on mute.
We can't hear you though. We can't hear you. Oh, your mic isn't connected, it says.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
Does anyone hear a lip reader?
So hopefully there's a button that you can press on your screen that'll unmute you.
There she goes.
That's it.
There you go.
Oh,
There you
Lord
go.
have mercy. Where's my fan? No, I know I'm a boomer, but I try to keep up with all you. I call you guys my Orthodox Zoomer grandsons. I don't know if you're all Zoomers, but maybe you're.
We're here. We're probably just millennials.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, millennials. Yep, that's good. I have to change my glasses so that I can see the screen on the phone. Anyway,
okay.
I'm standing here in front of our icon corner, so you can see a little bit. And we do have the unionofallicons.com is completely open online. This is one of our icons by Father Luke Dingman, who was from the Santa Cruz Mountains area. He just reposed, I think, a year ago, November. So we have a lot of his images available. We're building inventory and we're not doing custom orders right now. So you kind of have to go up to Union of All Icons and look and see. I'm trying to make sure we stock all the upcoming feast days, and we're going to try to get more of the saints. Every week I'm going to try to put up something new. But yeah, it's pretty exciting to be allowed to serve the Lord in this way. In addition to, of course, the San Jose Candle Company that my husband has run now for 25 years, supplying beeswax candles all over the country.
So your online store is open?
Yeah, Union of All Icons is totally open. Yep.
We should do a stream. We should arrange a stream to talk about that.
That would be sweet. Yeah, we had like 6 sales in the first week, and then I got a couple more like Friday, and we're using the flat rate shipping. So it's either going to go in a padded envelope if it's one icon. We can fit up to 4 in one of those $20 shipping boxes, postal service. So yesterday we shipped like 2 large 8x10s and 2 5x7s to a really good friend of mine who got me out of my Protestantism back in 2006 and into Roman Catholicism where he was. And then he became Orthodox years ahead of me. And I didn't even know that until I became Orthodox. I found out that he had already made that wonderful journey. So he just bought like 4 icons. So far, I'm not doing much with SEO or marketing or anything, because just sort of letting it build up slowly. But
sure,
it's a blessing. And thank you so much for being so supportive. And we do have the permits we're trying to maybe build a little RV spot for this land right outside the glass door here. We're in the 8,000 square foot warehouse. We live here now, but we've passed through a whole bunch of environmental checks and stuff, because we are in an M2 heavy industrial park, so we don't have to meet so many requirements, but we want to just put spots for like 4 RVs so people can come and visit and stay. And we have a Wonderworker monastery very near, about 10 miles away, that is changing from, it was St. Silouan's, and it's going to be something new, because it's going to be a little bit, it's going to be a women's monastery in like the main part, and then there still will be a place for the men. But I'm not really blessed to talk a lot about it, but there's movement, and God is doing something at the former St. Silouan's monastery here in Sonora. So just keep praying for that.
Okay. So is that open?
Which parish do you go to?
So I go to St. Susanna, which is an OCA parish, because my husband.
My parents go to St. Gabriel in Angels Camp. I'm actually from there.
Oh my goodness! Now I have to pull back so I can see who is speaking there.
This is Jacob, Subdeacon Jacob Howell.
Subdeacon, yeah, and I just heard that Father Tangay may be retiring or something.
Oh,
I don't know.
He deserves it. He's up there.
Yeah, no, he's great. So yeah, we're very close with our Wonderworker monastery. Traditionally, the monks that were there, they would always come to our services, and we would go to lots of Wonderworker services over there. So, it's going to be different, but God has got to use all those hundreds of acres. Hopefully it'll be wonderful. But yeah, that's cool.
So Edward's kind of strolling around on your on your website there, so we can give people a little preview of what's available.
That logo was given to me by the man, I think his name is Chris. He's Australian, but he runs the annual Byzantine Film Festival, Byzanfest.
Oh.
So yeah, we supported them, like a couple $100 to be a sponsor like 4 years ago. And I didn't have a logo, and he whipped up that logo for me free of charge.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a good logo.
It's pretty cool.
You want to show that logo there? Yeah. There it is.
It's nice.
Okay.
That's courtesy of the Byzanfest. And so, you just showed the walking on water. There are certain icons of Father Luke's, like his Last Judgment. When people would sign up with their email on the site there to be notified when we opened, they could communicate with me. And that was the most requested icon, the Last Judgment. So we made lots of those. I need to now stop right there. The one in the middle there, that Holy Trinity, that is by another really good friend of ours, Daniel Ogan, who just finished doing all of the icons inside the new building of the Wonderworker Church in Rogue River, called St. Innocent. And so we're contracted right now with Father Luke and Daniel Ogan to, when we sell, a mounted print of one of their icons, they're going to get, a big chunk of the money. And so we can help support the families. I love that. Holy
I actually commissioned an icon from Daniel.
Yeah, well, I thought you might. And we just got ours in the mail of Father Seraphim Rose. Can you see him? Let's see. Yeah, this one just arrived recently. So there's no halo yet, and it doesn't say saint. it says, Blessed Seraphim Rose of Platina, and the halo could be added later. But that's also Daniel Ogan. Yeah, there you go. It's kind of hard to. So it's kind of unusual, all the light colors. I was really surprised, but it grows on me every day.
Yeah, it's a wonderful icon.
Yeah, and so if we get a professional photographer, we could actually make this available on the website also. And then we kind of have this mystery icon here of St. John that, let's see. Okay, yeah. So this is by an iconographer who is from, I know he made this icon, I believe, when he was in the Santa Cruz Mountains. And so I haven't been able to contact him or the family. It's by Yuri Sidorenko. But I want to make sure, we're doing our best. But I was just given like 300 of these on cardstock. So we want to make them available too. And we're going to mount them and make them available on the website. Yeah, so it's pretty fun. I have to just make sure I don't get caught up in vainglory.
Sure.
or just overworking, or underworking, sloth, vainglory, all those fun things. So,
yeah, I had to work through that with my channel, but I think that I'm glorifying God with this work, so I can throw myself into it and keep busy that way. I think it's a good thing to do.
Amen. Yeah, I don't go up on my channel. I mainly show videos of everything around here and our dogs. And when beeswax arrives, I'll run out with the camera and try to do a live stream, and then I'll hold the camera the wrong way. But it's fun. But I will probably do a little more content. I'm writing my book. It's in editing stage right now by an Orthodox monastic female publisher. Because I had taken it off of Amazon, and then she wanted to read it, and she said she thinks it should go out there kind of as a missionary outreach book. It's called Confessions of a Controlaholic. Don't Destroy Your Second Marriage Too. So that was like the first title. The title might change, but yeah. So we're working on that, and maybe I'll just read the book, out loud up on my channel someday once it's finished. But we'll see. I'm just so glad that God saved me out of Hinduism, and then out of Protestantism, and then out of Roman Catholicism into Orthodoxy by age 56. So I just want to do what I can with the time I have left to glorify him, right?
All right.
Amen.
We kind of got off the topic of the Brotherhood, but that's fine. We invited you on. We're glad. Thank you for stopping in with us.
Thank you. And thank you for letting me do the shameless plugs of everything that we're doing.
Sure.
So,
we love you.
Great. Oh, I love you too. Okay.
All right.
It's nice meeting you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too. And I hope maybe someday I'll meet your parents, Subdeacon, or you if you come up to visit. Yeah, St. Susanna's. Come check us out too.
Oh, one more question. Is that monastery open? The women's monastery, or?
Well, it's in the stage of being formed. So things are moving forward, but it isn't anything real official yet, I guess, in terms of any announcement from the ROCOR, but things are happening on the ground that indicate movement. So.
All right. I'll have to bring Mother Catherine on once they do get that.
Exactly.
Started up.
Amen. Good. All right, you guys. Well, have a great rest of your Sundays, and Blessed Dormition Feast Thursday, if anyone's on the new calendar, like we are. Tuesday. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
I'm going to just leave. Bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. So I don't know. I mean, if should I do the play us out with the flash mob?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to play us out here. Tell the quick, paint the picture, set the scene. So Abbot Tryphon had this idea that all the brothers should practice I think, what are we singing? The Polyelios or something, or O Pure Virgin, or
This one's for your mercy endureth forever.
Yeah, and so we practiced this piece. We practiced chanting, and then we went down into the town of Vashon Island, and we went to this video was taken in the
hardware store restaurant.
No, this one is the
oh, it's not.
This is the grocery store.
Okay.
This one is a grocery store, and a flash mob is when everyone, like all these people, are just moving around in a public space, and all of a sudden they come together and start singing or doing some sort of thing. So I'll add that here, and this will be the way this will play us out. And after this ends, it'll be the end of the stream. So I guess everybody, we can say goodbye. Goodbye, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for having me on here.
Yeah, thank you all for coming and helping me with the stream.
Sure.
So here we go.
For a brotherhood.
Yep.
Queen and Mother, oh, do we please forsake with rejoice so unwedded pride. O high transcending heaven above, all beam of light most radiant, rejoice so unwedded bride. O joy of chaste and virgin maid, surpassing all the angels, rejoice so unwedded bride. O brilliant light of heaven above, most clear and most radiant, rejoice so unwedded bride. Commanding chief of heavenly hosts, the holiest of holies, rejoice so unwedded bride. I supplicate thee, Lady, I humbly call upon thee, rejoice so unwedded bride. O Queen of all, I beg thee to grant me thy favor, rejoice so unwedded bride. Most spotless and most honored maid, O Lady of holy, rejoice so unwedded bride. I call upon thee fervently, thou temple most holy, rejoice so unwedded bride. O thou my help, deliver me from harm and all adversity, rejoice so unwedded bride. And by thy prayer show me to thee an heir of immortality, rejoice so unwedded bride. Rejoice so unwedded